Is there an organization that supports you as a dancer and trans?
No.
None whatsoever.
That was very surprising.
I work for a queer ballet company called Ballets, and we are right now an all trans company, and as far as I know, we are the only all transgender ballet organization that I'm aware of.
How do you feel, and if so, how do you feel that dance gives you that freedom of expression?
I feel like for me, at least before I even physically transitioned, because I'm very much in the classical ballet world, and it is so gendered that even with my own body, I felt better doing the men's steps. I felt more comfortable doing all of their jumps and all of that kind of thing. And it almost really showed me okay, this is what you want, this is what your body is naturally going to. That was a really interesting way for me to physically kind of express my gender and how I was feeling.
Dance was the first form of communication, even before singing and speech. Dance was the first form of communication. What you saw in the hunt, what you were looking for, you explained it to you. You danced to them. And of course, then that it got to, if you're going to express to whatever your gods were, fire, earth, whatever, you performed for them. I mean, this is our first kind of communication that we have.
Martha Graham said this was the first fence ever put up.
I am a really strong believer in people, in connection, in humanity, and being able to connect with people. That's why I love dance. That's why I love performing. And I find the more I do that, the more I'm able to do that, and the more I continue to push to do that against the world. Yes. The more people understand, the more people I resonate with, the more people I connect with, and if all I can do is a drop in the bucket, hopefully one day that'll add up to a full bucket. You know what I mean?
I wanted to add to that. I feel like every art form is an expression of what's happening in society at the time, and because if we bring it to another style of dance, most of them are still binary as well, pretty set up to the roles. But I feel like slowly they're all opening up to breaking those rules and bringing, for example, Salsa World, which is one that I'm pretty close to, having the space in competitions now to have same gender competitions, to have people doing other stuff and not limiting ourselves and changing the language from man and woman to lead and follower, from man and woman to bass and flyer.
Yes.
I think those things are slowly helping that transition. It's taking a long time, obviously, but I think it's starting to evolve.
So one final thing that I want to say is I feel as a trans person the direct relationship between politics, my body, and dance and art and creation, and how these two go hand in hand. And my body is the vessel and also the in-between. The state of the world right now for transgender people is really scary. It's scarier than it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago felt different. 2020 felt different than 2025 does for trans people. 2018 felt a lot different than 2025 does in terms of my physical safety when I'm out on the street, to be very frank. However, my presence in the dance world, my art making, my creation as a dancer, my body is always the medium. So my transness, my body not being typical to what people expect to see on stage will always be part of who I am and my dancing.